Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So today's flick pick, I want to talk about Police Academy. And I don't just mean the first one, I mean the whole series. Because, for me, I really only liked the first, second, and third one. The fourth one was okay. Fourth one, I mean, the rest, not so good. And there's been a lot of talk there was before a lot of talk about whether there will be a reboot or there's going to be another Police Academy. And so what I was thinking was, I just don't see there being a successful reboot. I know they've tried it with RoboCop, they've tried it with, what was the other one? There's, Ghostbusters. There's been a bunch of other, classic 80s movies that they've rebooted. And I don't think that Police Academy is going to work. And here's why. Because it wasn't really the story that sold Police Academy, it was the actors. And there was quite a diverse amount of actors in the movie. Whoever picked the cast, I don't just mean the first movie, I mean all of them. They really found a number of people that just work so well together. I mean, you got Steve Guttenberg obviously was one of the main characters, Mahoney. I mean, his character was okay. He was just your typical guy always going after the girls, and whatever. But I mean, someone like Hightower, they found this tall, big football player who's also in a sense he's almost like a cuddly teddy bear, but then he's rough around the edges. And then they kind of pair him with Hooks, Miriam Ramsey, who is this tiny petite little lady with a really soft-spoken voice, and so the two of them just kind of the yin and yang effect. And then you have other characters like Tackleberry. You can't replicate that. I mean, that guy, David Graff. Was that his name? Was it? Oh wait, I took notes. David Graff, I think that's his name. He really put this emotion into it. He just seemed like he's been in too many scenarios where he just wants to shoot people. And if you watch his character throughout the movies, he always has a different gun. It's always a cannon, more of an arm cannon, kind of like a Clint Eastwood style character where he's got the biggest gun, he loves the gun, and in, what was it, the third one, he's got his own backyard set up like he's Rambo. I mean, you just can't replicate that. And then you got Michael Winslow, who played Larvell Jones, and, he's that guy who does all the voices, so we all know him. And nobody's going to replicate that. I mean, you just wouldn't even try. And we also know him from Spaceballs, too. I just love that scene in Spaceballs where he's talking about the radar screen and it gets jammed. It's one of my favorite parts in Spaceballs. But in Police Academy, I mean, you get to see him more front and center. And I think he's one of the better characters, one of my favorite characters out of the Police Academy series. And who else do we have there? We got, just fun characters like Mr. Sweet Chuck if you watch the second one. And that would be this one here, Sorry, I only have the VHS. I don't know why, I've never got the DVDs yet. But I still have a video recorder so I can watch these. Mr. Sweet Chuck. This little tiny guy, a little wimpy guy, running a store in what neighborhood are they supposed to be in? Now, I know it's all pretty much filmed in Toronto, which is practically my hometown, but where they're supposed to be, it's like a crime-infested area, and little Mr. Sweet Chuck is picked on by all the neighborhood gangs. But, he ends up becoming a cop in the third one, and his character just works so well with the rest of the team, especially when he goes up against Hightower and Tackleberry, who are really... one's really big and strong, and the other one's more intimidating with his guns. And to see this little guy kind of carry this gun around, it's hilarious. And of course, we have to talk about Bobcat Goldthwait. He is one of my all-time favorites out of all of them because of his demeanor, the way he acts, his completely rough exterior. That like if you watched him in the second movie, he was the villain, and he was just really crazy and wild. And you know, there's a scene where he's walking through the grocery store and he just like grabs a banana and just like eats it from the bottom, and you know, little things like that where it's such a wild and crazy character. And then in the third movie, he somehow changes his life around, becomes a cop, and from there on in, I believe he was in the fourth one as well. He's pretty much reformed at this point. I think he was in the fourth one. I actually haven't seen the fourth one in a long time, so yeah, actually I do think he was in there. But anyways, I know they made about 7 of them. Plus there was a cartoon, which I do remember, and I didn't really watch it too much. I wasn't crazy about it. Even though it had the characters in it, it just didn't seem the same. And as I was doing some research on police academies, because, you know, the whole thought that there's an up-and-coming, you know, re-release or reboot or part 8 or something, I found out there was also a TV series that I didn't even know. So, and that was around like 1997, 98. Right there, the thought of watching that, I don't know if I could do it. I know some of the actual actors were in it, and you know, I think like the guy who played Mauser was in it. Lassard, I think, Commandant Lassard was in it. Who else? A lot of names I didn't even recognize. There's so many classic, funny scenes that I constantly repeat these scenes. Even the one where Lieutenant Mauser and I believe this is in the second one. He's in the shower and they replace his shampoo with it's like the glue that Tackleberry was using to fix his helmet, and then he gets his hand stuck to his head like this, and he's stuck there through like that whole scene, and he can't get out of the shower, and eventually he does. He's running around naked in the police station. I mean, those are just classic scenes, and I don't think it can be replicated. I think part 1, 2, and 3, my favorites, must-sees if you haven't seen any of them. Go to the first, second, and third. The fourth is not bad. Fifth, kind of meh. But, you know, they're all in Toronto, which is cool. I get to see my own stomping grounds, you know, like, you know, that's just awesome. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Let me know what you think of the series. Let me know if you've watched any of them, if you like the cartoon, or if you ever heard of the TV series, because apparently it only ran for 1 year. It probably didn't do so well, which is probably why I didn't even hear of it. Or maybe I did and I didn't care. I remember there was a RoboCop series, but I didn't really like that one either. Anyways, talk to you guys later. Hope you subscribe.